Hey there, and welcome to Throw Up Thursday. I'm your host, Dr. JJ Kelly, the punk rock doc.
Oh, welcome once again to Throw Up Thursday. I am one of your hosts, Dr. JJ Kelly, the punk rock doc. I'm the CEO and founder of Unorthodox Inc., and that is a punk alternative to traditional psychotherapy. I'm getting better at that intro. Hi, Sam, Grace. My co-host joining us in a second is Grace. Grace is one of the docs. Damn it. And they will be ready with pre-prepared questions, but feel free to ask a question in the comment box, or I think there's a question button on the bottom right. So, looks like the request is here from Grace. Let's let them in. Come on. Hi, Corey. Hi, Hadley. How's everybody? Sam? There! Grace is with us. Hello. Hi, Ellie.
Hi.
Welcome.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
You are. Your first Throw Up Thursday. Hey, look. I'm making chili.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Big deal.
I love it. I love that we're doing our thing like in the kitchen, you know, one of my favorite things of any house, and like making nourishment in many forms, you know?
Wow. What a metaphor.
Yeah, right? So why don't we jump right in? You got some questions for us?
Yeah, I do. All right. Okay. This first one is from Erica.
Nice.
Or maybe we should wait until Erica gets here to do it.
All right.
Okay, so I will start with a question from one of my friends instead. Thoughts on how to navigate overall feelings of emotional burnout/stress. I am feeling lately like I have much less patience in my work/family relationships and am more easily stressed out and in turn more likely to snap or act out of irritation instead of stepping back from the situation. What are some ways to help work through these feelings?
Yeah. You know, I think to some extent, this is a collective experience right now with COVID. You know how that a lot of these streets are closed off now and it's just for pedestrian stuff, but it's kind of makeshift. Like you do it out of respect. You're not going to get arrested for doing it, whatever. So I had a kid, like a 11-year-old kid in the car, and some people had put like their trash bins in the yellow middle line in front of their house. And I was like, whatever, who cares? Like they live here, do what you want. And we start to go around the trash cans that are in the middle of the road. And somebody else, slow down. And first of all, I got a kid, like a child in the car. I couldn't be going slower and still moving my car. And I go, relax. and everyone erupted and just started screaming at us with a kid in the car.
Oh my gosh, no.
Okay, this is a pretty entitled area. Which people don't even see. You know, you're blocking off the road. Like, what's going on here? But what I did was try to use in a teaching point with the kid that everybody's fuse is so short right now. Mm-hmm. And those people, it's like they were picking a fight with us. And what I never understood about, like, Berkeley, sort of North Oakland area, like if that went down in Chicago, and I told her this, if that went down in Chicago, that would be like, stop the car, go knock that guy's teeth out. You know, I'm not advocating for that. I'm just saying, like, you can only act that way in very privileged neighborhoods without serious consequences. And so that's why the whole country says bubble. You know, like, what the hell? And I told her then, you know, the different culture in Wisconsin, hypothetically, we would have gone to get super soakers and water balloons and circled back to that neighborhood. So it's a little friendlier, but still consequences. So different cultural differences of how to handle that. I think that's totally ridiculous. I always have since I've lived here. However, I think even for here, that is pretty over the top. And I think you add the energy of spring and that infusion of energy in general, and you got a mix for like short fuses that energy has to go somewhere. I wish people would swim. I actually think people need to like be underwater and like wash the last year off in a lake or something. I don't know, anywhere, a body of water at all. So that's a long story to get to a short answer, which is I think both your friend is experiencing what everyone is experiencing as an individual. I also think if your friend is, you know, if that's somebody close to you, they're probably quite intuitive and empathic. So they might be picking up other people's energy. And I think we all got to be real mindful of just slowing everything down. So Sam says, barking at people. That's just you, Sam, you freak. He does a very high-pitched bark that scares the shit out of me. Yeah. Hadley says, yeah, you got called bitch today. Yeah, like, yikes. And you know, the bummer of it is even if you get that release of that anger that kind of feels darkly delicious in that situation, you're going to feel shame after. And you can explain it away. They deserved it, whatever. I was in the right, whatever. But if you are calling people names and doing anything that doesn't go in alignment with your values, you are going to feel shame. There's no way those people, you know how righteous they are here. They're going to intellectually explain it away, but it doesn't matter because they're going to feel it. It has repercussions in the body. So 3 deep abdominal breaths before you do anything impulsive is a pretty great practice right now. Impulsive behavior, when acted upon, usually makes messes. This is a huge part of DBT, as you know. Do not make mood-dependent decisions. Do you want to add to that, Grace?
Yeah, I think they're almost like answering their own question a little bit, that the options are like snap or step away from the situation, and that's a good stepping away from the situation. Yeah. It's like a fucking solid place to start, like literally physically stepping away from the situation. Like, go for a fucking walk around the block. Like, I mean, even just like one go around the block does like miracles for emotional regulation. It'll like really snap you back to just like move your body and get some fresh air.
100% agree with that. Yes. Adults need to start putting themselves in timeout. Joseph, my God, everybody's got to just chill the fuck out. Although that doesn't help to say chill out. How does one do it? A walk? I mean, and everybody says breathe, take a walk. And everyone knows that, but they don't do it. Go do it so you gather the evidence for yourself of what nuanced impact that has on you as an individual. Everybody's different and the same. But, you know, go assess your body before the walk, after the walk. These are mindfulness exercises, and these eruptions in the world are mindless. That people are not collectively practicing anything mindful right now. And the slowing down and acting according to your values is how we're going to make it out of this pandemic without a shit ton of shame that we then got to clean up once everything opens up. It's not going to be some miracle when shit opens up that everything you did during quarantine is going to be without consequences. So it's a great question.
Yeah.
It's a great question.
I think the other nice thing about like going for a walk and breathing is that it like in the like literally giving you space from the situation, it allows some perspective. Like it sounds like this stuff, the like context of this question is pretty like low stakes. Like the people I live with are fucking annoying, but not like there's no like abuse happening or anything like super like horrendous or dangerous. And it's nice to like sometimes when you go for a walk, you're like, oh, this shit doesn't actually matter that much. Like this is so low stakes and like it's actually easier to just like let it go than to like escalate, turn it into a bigger thing than it needs to be.
Yep. If anybody can just remember that even intense emotions have a shelf life. It's a few seconds of and then just you're breathing, and by the time you got 3 deep abdominal breaths in, it has already changed, if not majorly gone down. So heavy bag, Alyssa. Of course, Allie says a heavy bag. I think that's a great idea. Everyone in the world ought to have a heavy bag for themselves to kick and punch and scream at, paste a face on there, whatever. Yeah. Try not to make messes regardless of your feelings, people. In general. All right, let's do the next one.
Okay, next one is actually pretty similar. Also kind of like I'm stuck at home and fighting with my family question. Okay, this is the one from Erica. I don't see them, but we can just go ahead and do it.
Okay.
Okay, wait, where did I put it? Let me find it, actually.
Let me answer this. What if you can't stop your mind from stewing and being butthurt? Okay, already that language is not what we would use in DBT. Can't stop your mind from stewing and being okay, so when you have the skills of DBT, you recognize choice in a new way. Anytime there's I can't do it, we categorize that as a worry thought in order to distinguish it from fact. There are a lot of things we think when we are emotionally dysregulated, particularly fear, shame, anger, that we think these things and we believe them to be fact at the time. They are, in fact, not fact. They're just worry thoughts that are generated by your emotions. So, mind, that's the treadmill to nowhere thinking. You know, a lot of times you'll get that repetitive thinking when you have not distinguished that they're just thoughts being generated by emotion. You don't have those skills yet to separate those two. And then when you are able to notice that they're just thoughts generated by emotion, then the obvious next step is to regulate the emotion. And that starts with validation of the emotion, simply naming it. So, Hadley, what if you can't stop your mind? I would say, what emotion are you having when you're thinking? Like what goes with butt hurt, first of all? Is that just straight up hurt? Is there some pissed in there? Is there disappointment? So identify and validate those emotions. So mantra is this thought emotion is not a fact. And that, yes, tack on to that. What am I feeling right now that's generating these worry thoughts? Just by calling them worry thoughts, you want to check out fear. So any sort of stewing is a repetition. You want to check out fear and anger with repetition. But any emotion will repeat if you don't validate it. And by validation, it's just naming the emotion. I mean, we do say slang stuff like butt hurt or whatever. But you also, like, if you're new to it, you want to get an emotion wheel out and actually start disciplining yourself to pick the one that's most specific to you. Irritated, anger, yes. Anger, the one that churns. That's one of the big two that churn, fear and anger. Right. So You said butt hurt with anger, which probably means you're turning the anger in because you have some sort of fear about addressing the conflict that's going on out here. Many people try to self-medicate anger by turning it inward, and that's a controlling move and not all the way honest. It probably won't get rid of it all the way because you're bullshitting yourself, not on purpose. I'm not saying you're lying on purpose. I'm just saying that a lot of people try to intellectually divorce themselves from anger because they think it makes them a bad person. But anger is just the emotion that tells you that your boundaries are being crossed. So we got to deal with that one and regulate it mindfully like any other emotion. Great question, Hadley. Thank you. Did you want to add anything, Grace?
Not really. That was just a sweet little coincidence because that was almost exactly the third question that I had for today, which was about like not taking other people's behavior too personally and being able to like decenter yourself and give it back to the other person because it's their shit.
Oh, nice. And glad that was helpful. Excuse me. I was responding to the...
Yeah, that's okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so that was perfect in terms of like, I don't know, accidentally answered one of the questions that I had lined up about like controlling thought patterns, like kind of codependent behavior.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Megan, welcome. Can't believe Megan ever makes one of these being a new mom. That's such a compliment. All right, next question.
All right, okay, this is the one from Erica. I am trying to transmute my anger to compassion, though I am still having some difficulty regulating my anger / frustration / pissed off. How would you recommend I practice dialectical validation there?
Well, hang on. Is Erica on? No?
I don't think so. I have the context for this, though, if you want the like, situation.
That's a little bit too general. I can give a better... Yeah, give it to me. Hi, Scotty.
Okay, so the situation that's happening is that Erica is the like go-to person for when people in their family have like tech issues. And this one specific thing keeps happening where like their mom has a tech thing. Erica helps because they want to help or tries to help because they want to help. Their mom has a meltdown. And then Erica gets pissed off because their mom is having a meltdown. And they can't help if their mom is having a fucking meltdown. And then it just turns into this, like, now we're just pissed at each other thing.
Yeah, don't do it then. I mean, that's the easy answer. Or the other one is completely ignore the meltdown in the moment, like one would a tantrum, which is what it is. That power struggle is so unnecessary. Who's doing who the fucking favor, by the way? Like, I think the emotion of mom in that situation is just getting away from her, and then mom is like just barfing all that onto Erica, and then Erica's and forget this fucking transmute anger into compassion. Come on. Like, first, especially because I know Erica, and they are pretty slow to do the anger thing. That's still a point of working on for them. So, in DBT, we would do a DEAR. Describe, express, assert, reinforce. I can teach that probably. I should probably teach that in a quick video. However, in this situation, describing, okay, so Erica might say something to their mom like, when we do these tech, describe would be, when we do these tech things, you tend to have a lot of emotion. Express of opinions and emotions. I don't really like that ends up being directed toward me. The assert is the actual ask or say no. You could argue that one both ways. Please don't take out your emotions about the tech stuff on me. Or you could do it in a say no. I will not be helping you with tech stuff if you continue to take out your anxiety on me, and then reinforces just the thank you, like, I'd appreciate it, or I hope you can respect that, is the easy version of that. I myself would do that deer slightly differently in that I like to remind people who's doing who the favor. Whom? You know, like, and if it's a repeated thing, you can do the deer beforehand and go in prepared. Or you can do a deer what you strike while the iron is cold. Like, no tech thing is happening. You say this to your mom when there is no like heated anything going on, so that you lay the foundation, those boundaries, for when the next time comes, and it's coming. Let's not delude ourselves into thinking that shit's just gonna go away on its own. That has never happened ever. So, I mean, adult children and parents, you know, in the same household, there's a reason we like don't live with our parents forever, you know. It just gets, and you can express anger in the moment then, because you know it's coming, you're prepared. You can say, you know, I'm getting pretty frustrated with this interaction. The same shit happens every time here. Like, let's do this differently. Aren't you sick of the meltdowns too? This can't be fun for you either. Let's do this differently, Mom. Please, try to remember, I'm trying to help you here. Please, just breathe. Like, how do you think we can come to this in a much more like adult to adult respectful interaction? That's one I like to save, is like putting it back on them to remind them that they're responsible for their own emotional experience. I'm not here to just do all their emotional labor. Oh, it's so hard. But those repeats are such great cues, because you can prepare before the next one, and then you're ready. And Erica knows how to be ready for this. Right? I mean, what a student they are, you know? Write it out. Be ready. Write out the like hardcore one. Do a like, what would JJ say? First, and have it be super hardcore so that you get your, you know, your blood pumping, and then pull it back to what you would say. All of that is an exposure to your own anxiety about the conflict before it's happened. So you're used to some level of anxiety by the time you go in, you're face to face with the person, and now you're in the conflict. You have some ability to sort of tolerate that experience of distress by practicing it beforehand, even just writing it out. This is what we do all the time, you know, on our calls. Do the deer right in the moment. Do an emotion regulation exercise. Figure out what you're even feeling. That is a great one. I so wish Erica were on this.
Me too.
But they'll see it. So yeah, that's a great one. That's a great one too. You got any more?
Any other questions? Yeah. Let's see, where did my list go? Okay. Oh my gosh. All right, this is a good one. How do I balance work and mental struggles when I have to show up? This is from someone who is a preschool teacher, which I think is maybe important context, the like stakes in showing up.
I didn't hear what that was. What?
Oh, I said this is from someone who's a preschool teacher, which is maybe important context. The like stakes in showing up are higher than if you're a fucking like retail worker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and being on is being on. Like,
yeah,
everyone feels that pressure to, you know, perform at their job at their best of their ability. So, what was the beginning of that question? Can I have that again, please?
Yeah, how do I balance work and mental struggles when I have to show up?
Yeah, sometimes you just fake it is one end of the spectrum. And honestly, you know, I I don't know if this person saw last week's Throw Up Thursday, but I was super pissed coming into the live. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't want to cancel because I like doing it, and I want, you know, people to have trust that I'm going to be here every Thursday. We don't make mood dependent decisions in DBT. I can't just say it. I have to do it. The first thing about that was, one, I validated my anger in the moment, right out of the gates. I had no idea how the live was going to go. I had accepted, radical acceptance, that it might go to hell in a handbasket. I might make a total fucking ass of myself on this live, but like, I didn't want to cancel. No way. That would have caused shame. So the interesting part about that is I think, much like a teacher, that when you care like that about, you know, the other person, and you put your attention toward helping, teaching, generosity, you kind of take the energy from inside you and put it out. It's a much more productive thing than just projecting, you know, shame dumping or responsibility dumping or anxiety dumping. You could just get in it, own your shit, and just move forward and keep going forward. By the end of it, I was like happy as Larry, not a bother on me. And it wasn't faking. It was just a switch of focus, sinking in to doing something that I love, which is helping. Yeah, it is. Like, helping, it can be just emotionally regulating in and of itself. I don't know. I mean, preschoolers, Jesus, it's been a long time since I've been, you know, I mean, I did indoor soccer lessons with, and they all just like talk constantly and just move around, kindergarten and preschool. Like, the noise level alone, I don't know how teachers do it. They're funny, but I mean, I couldn't do that every day. So I don't know. I mean, breaks seem really important in the time of COVID. I mean, thank you to teachers and to students too. College.
Oh my gosh.
Kind of no. High school, not. And like junior high, no way.
Oh my gosh, those poor kiddos fucking losing their minds.
No way. I would be sitting there like trying to hide, giving the finger out of the, like, at any of those ages, by the way, I would try to see how close I could get this. You know what I mean? I would be fucking around so hardcore on Zoom if I were in school. I'd be losing my mind. So bravo to teachers and to students. I mean, self-care. If you're friends with this person, send them a gift. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thanks to Allie, I got a gift in the mail. I got strawberries, those chocolate-covered strawberries in the mail. Do you know how that made my whole week?
That's so fucking sweet. Wow. Allie's an angel.
For being what did she say? Something about being a shithead with anxiety. I would not have said that. Although I'm not going to dispute it. It is also a hard month to be a shrink. But, you know, spring fever, it's real. I say for the teacher, breathing, water, same stuff. But I mean, please congratulate yourself every single day for making it through. Oh my gosh. It cannot be overstated the heroic efforts that are being done by teachers right now. I just have mad respect. That's not a great answer. Yet, you know, self-care, but not the kind that's just checking boxes. You know, like, do nothing when you get home. Do nothing. That doesn't mean reading, checking emails. It just means like sit outside somewhere if you can and look at a tree. Listen to some birds. I'm talking thing. That silence is so needed right now by all of us. Meditate, do yoga, whatever brings the energy back in. But time alone has got to be part of it. Yeah, I'd go insane too. Yeah, I feel you. Well, that was excellent. Thanks so much, Grace.
I loved that.
Join us again anytime.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I am so into this.
Nice. I hope some of your friends were on for you.
Oh my gosh, yeah, totally. I think actually a bunch of people that I know showed up, which is so sick.
Right. Oh, hi, Esther. Didn't see you. All right. So join us next week then for Throw Up Thursday, where you come barf your problems and you leave feeling better. If you have any questions or want to talk to me, drjjkelly.com. As you can see, DBT works really well. Grace and I were just talking about how you're killing it.
Aww.
Last year. I mean, oh my gosh. Yeah. To watch you guys blossom is such a pleasure. All right. So I will see you next week. Thanks so much.
Oh my gosh, bye.
Oh my gosh, bye.
Get in touch with me, Dr. JJ Kelly, the punk rock doc, at drjjkelly.com.